hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death. Hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still
I just want to say a few words. I'm going to say a few words about Marv, and then anybody else that wants to either come up here or stand out where you are, or stay seated, and have anything to say about our friend, you can take as much time as you want to say whatever you want. There's a little thing outside the table here where you can just write a message that we would give to Paul after we leave here. All right. And what I thought we could do is, at the end, when everybody's done saying whatever they want to say, we can all get in a circle like we do it at the meetings we attend and say the Serenity Prayer together. Have a moment of silence and say the Serenity Prayer. So I just wrote some notes down. I have a hard time seeing it, but
take your glasses off.
Put it on the floor.
So I wanted to start out by just saying a story about that Marv and I shared about the scorpion and the frog. Hopefully some of you know that story. There was a flood, and there was a scorpion and a frog on the riverbank, and they were going to get washed away. They had to get to the other side of the river, and the scorpion can't swim, but the frog could. So the frog was ready to swim into the river to the other side of the riverbank to avoid the flood. And the scorpion said, "Excuse me, could I jump on your back and you swim me across the river too, because I can't swim?" And the frog said, "That's crazy, because if you jump on my back, you're going to sting me and I'm going to die." And the scorpion said, "Well, that would be stupid, because if I sting you and you die, then I die too." And the frog seemed to realize that that's reasonable and said, "Okay, jump on my back and we'll swim across." They get into the middle of the river, the scorpion stings the frog, they both die and drown. Later on, they're in heaven, and when they get to heaven, the frog sees the scorpion and says, "What is wrong with you? And why did you do that?" And the scorpion said, "I couldn't help myself. I'm a scorpion." And the scorpion in that story represents the addict. And there's this lie that used to be, is that once an addict, always an addict. And for my friend Marv, and for a lot of people here and myself, that's not true anymore. And so I wanted to just read you a little bit of the notes that I wrote about. He struggled with addiction for a very long time, and almost 25 years ago, he ended up in a coma from an overdose, and they were going to pull the plug. He was in a coma for days, and miraculously, he came out of the coma, and he was from New York, he was in Massachusetts, and when he came out of this coma, he decided to move right outside of Philly near his son. That was in March, or somewhere around March of 1995. At that time, he started going to meetings around, Bucks County and Philadelphia, and that's where I met Marv. the lie about being once an addict, always an addict, once a drug addict, always a drug addict, didn't apply to him. At that point, he had to surrender, and he stayed clean from then until he died last Thursday. He was in the program, and he was really involved in the program. He always attended meetings. He was really an important person to so many people, so many addicts. He was always very genuine, and if he ever took an interest in you, you knew it. He had so many close relationships with people that absolutely loved him. What we're sharing here tonight is all that love. He was loved by so many, and he loved so many so much. Our first real connection, Marv and myself, was football. We both really liked football. So we started watching games together, and then from there, our relationship really blossomed over the years. Marv and I had a very unique friendship. He's been, to me, like a brother, a best friend, and a father figure. He became a part of my family. He attended all of our holiday dinners. He was always at Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. And he was Jewish, and he was celebrating all those holidays with my family. So my relationship with him meant everything to both of us. I spoke to him every day on the phone, and I saw him a lot every week. I was at a lot of doctor's appointments with him for the last year. We knew everything about each other, and we only wanted the best for each other. And I know that friendships like this do not come around often. And although I'm really sad, I'm happy and proud that I had this 25 years of a special relationship with somebody. And there's so many people that Marv knew and loved, but I want to mention a few people that he specifically talked to me about regularly. John is one of the first people I think about because he would always talk to me. And John didn't know Marv for that long. He knew him only a few years, but John went up to the hospital to see Marv. Marv spent, I'll bet you, he probably spent like 30 to 45 days this year in the hospital, right? And if anybody's been in the hospital, they know it's terrible. Like at one point, he just got sick of being in the hospital. But when people would come to visit him, it meant a lot to him. And John was one of those people, and he would always, he loved that you did that. So I wrote, your visits to him in the hospital meant more than you'll ever know. Jamie, he would always talk to me about you, brother. He loved you, and he was so happy that you were involved in his life and that you cared about him. And I know there's probably people that I'm not going to list here, but it's because I had to write this, and be sad at the same time. I couldn't think all that much, but he would always talk about my sisters, Margie and Nina. He loved my sisters so much. If he would talk about them to anybody, he would just say so many nice things. Like at some point I'd be like, all right, shut up, it's enough, that's enough. But he loved my sisters, and he would just talk and brag about them, and he would talk about them like they were his daughters, like he was a proud father. And he also always loved my daughters, Jessica and Sophie, and he would always talk about them, and he was always concerned about them and wanted them to be okay. Those people whenever he would hear about any of you or talk about any of you, he would light up. You were all very important to him, and you all made him smile and laugh and be happy of your friendship and your love. Before I end my little talk here, I wanted to tell you a little love story. In 2013, after much convincing, Marv joined a dating site. And I know nobody else in here is done. Marv, being the good-looking guy that he is, he secured a lot of dates. Not a lot, but he secured enough dates, and he complained every day So he would get a date, and then he would call me up the next day. Sometimes he'd call me that night. And he would just, the main complaint was that the pictures online aren't the same as the pictures of the people that were from. Sometimes he didn't know who the person was. He was like, you're not the person. And they were like, yeah, you're the person. So he would have to sit through a dinner or a date. So the last date that he had, he called me up and said, I'm not doing this anymore. This is, I'm basically deleting my dating. And but his life with you were the very best years of his life. He would say that to me all the time. And I know he meant, and I know it was true. You and Marvin made a great match, and you did it in your 70s. You took him all over the world, and he was so happy to be able to go on trips with you, and especially the trip to Asia. He sent me this picture of him riding an elephant. He probably sent that to everybody. Whoever listened to him. He was like, "Can you see I'm on an elephant?" And it was a real elephant. It wasn't like, fake. Yeah. And you both decided to get a dog. And the dog, he loved that dog. He talked about Tux all the time. There's pictures of this dog. I know right now that dog is missing Marv. He just loved Marv. And the main reason I think he loved Marv is because Marv would just feed him. Not regular, not dog food. Like anything. Pizza and soup, shrimp, or whatever. He would just feed him. So the dog really loved him. Again, I'm sad, and I'm sad for you, Paulette, but I'm also thankful to you for being a great partner to my friend and showing him the lighter side of life, and loving him and making him feel special and making these last years of his life amazing. You are really a wonderful person, and Marvin loved you like no one else he has ever met. All right, I got one more story. I promise you this is the last story. When Marv was 17 years old, him and two of his friends took a road trip, and they got in the car, and they made a stop. When they got out of the car, when they were going back to the car, Marv wasn't the driver, and his other friend wasn't the driver either. So the driver of the car had to get into the driver's seat. But Marv and his buddy called shotgun at the same time. So when they did that, they realized it was a tie, right? So they had to flip a coin. They decided, let's flip a coin to see who sits in the front seat. They flip a coin. Marv loses the coin toss. The kid sits in the front seat. A few minutes later, they get into an accident. The kid in the front seat dies. So based on that story, I wanted to just share a message from my best friend, Marv. Life is a series of coin flips. We don't have as much control as we think. Love as much and as hard as you can, and do everything in your power to be like Paulette. Try to make the next day, week, month, or years the best days, weeks, months, and years for your loved one. So look, anybody else that wants to say anything, you can just, wherever you're at, you can, go ahead, Brian, you don't do it. Or go ahead, Jamie.
1995 or 2002. And I had a dog, Rocky, and Marvin loved Rocky. Marvin loved dogs, all right? Well, he loved my Rocky, and Rocky was about a 90-pound lab. And Rocky would always be next to him, and I didn't understand why Rocky was like always with Marvin. And I think it took me about 4 years to realize that Marvin would put food in his pocket. and Rocky would be down there, and he would not budge or move away from Marvin. And we'd be watching football games, have all kinds of food, and Rocky would be right at Marvin's feet and would not budge. And he loved Rocky, man. I remember that. That was a funny story about Marvin. We used to tease him. I always used to tease him a little bit because he had the New York accent, And Marvin, when he would say pizza, he didn't say pizza, he said pizza. So let's get some pizza and chocolate. He'd say pizza and chocolate and Mickey Mantle. So we would kind of tease him a little bit about that. And he didn't care. What was great about Marvin, even though he was from New York, I think he rooted for the Dodgers, right, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Brooklyn.
The old Brooklyn Dodgers, yeah, but
Because they used to be the Brooklyn Dodgers.
the Brooklyn Dodgers, right. But Marvin would never, like, get on us with that whole New York, Philadelphia rivalry. He let us root for our squad. So he wasn't one of the typical New Yorkers that would make fun of the Eagles and tell us our teams were all trash. And I always loved that about Marvin, because a lot of us loved our Eagles, except Dan, you know, Eagles. Dallas Cowboys. I remember Marvin called me one day when Marvin started having problems years ago. Marvin had a neck surgery done down in Philadelphia. And Marvin, I love Marvin, but Marvin's stubborn. We can agree Marvin's pretty stubborn, right? I mean, has anybody had, I've had a couple little bump-ins. I'm a powerful personality. Marvin, you can't tell Marvin nothing. And I remember Marvin went down to the surgery to get a neck surgery and thought he was going to drive home. And was literally at the hospital in Philadelphia and started making calls for somebody to pick him up, and we had to leave his car there. I had to come down and get him in the middle of the day to drive him home because he was that stubborn, and he literally thought he was going to drive home from a neck surgery. I love Marvin. Tommy, my buddy Tommy, with sports like Marvin, that's a lot. We used to watch a lot of games together. And my friend Tommy, that couldn't be here, Tommy had season tickets for the Philadelphia Phillies. And I had called Tommy to tell him about Marvin the other day, and he wanted me to share his sentiment and share his love too, and mention him tonight. Because anytime there was like a Dodgers game in Philly, you know, that's kind of, odd, but when there was tickets, he took Marvin to those Dodgers games, and Marvin always loved that. Marvin always loved free tickets, though. You know? Marvin loved the free meal and free tickets, you know. Rocky, oh geez, holiday dinners. I remember one time we decided to go, I had a sponsor down in Tennessee. His name was Greg Pierce, he passed away back in '99. And there was a whole group of us that decided to fly down there to go visit this guy, Greg, the guy was kind of a big deal. And I remember we went down there and I just started golfing. And Marvin didn't really golf at all. But Marvin liked to challenge her a little bet occasionally. I don't want to put him out there, but if you could get a little side bet going with Marv was all in. He liked to get a little action going. And I remember we were golfing and I was kicking his tail on the front nine and I stunk. And he stunk just as bad. And all of a sudden he turned into like Arnold Palmer on the back nine. I think I lost like $50 to him and everybody was looking at me like, where did that come from? I think he slow played me on the front nine. I think what happened and he got me in the back. We went to Key West together one year. We went down there 2 years in a row. I guess that was back in '02 and 2001 roughly is when we went down to Key West. Mick's father had a timeshare down there, and we would go down there and hang out in Key West. Marvin's 30 years older than me, almost. But you would never know it to hang out with him. He just wanted to be he was just one of the guys. I never looked at Marv. I always respected him for his wisdom because I knew he had some more life experience. But I never looked at him like he was like this older guy because he was just one of the guys. I mean, we smoked cases of cigars on my back porch in Warminster. We smoked cases of cigars in Marvin's condo in Holland. And if you ever been in his condo, you knew he was smoking cases of cigars in there. So me and Marvin spent a lot of time together. Marvin loved movies. Marvin loved The Sopranos, and Marvin loved mob movies, and we would always, back with Goodfellas and all those old mob movies that would go on, we watched a lot of movies together too, man. I'm just trying to run through the things that I'm thinking about with Marvin, but probably the biggest thing that Marvin always left me, I remember when I was struggling back in 2002, and I was in and out of treatment, Marvin came and visited me. And then I came back around a couple years later, and Marvin was always kind to me, and always kind of like would do anything for you, and I always remembered how close we were, and just like he was just one of the guys, man. Even though there was a 30-year age difference, you would never know by hanging out with the guy. He was just so full, like we would always laugh, we'd always eat, we'd always have a good time, man, and that's what Marvin was about. So if you want to rest assured, Marvin, I don't think he left a lot on the table. He had a good life and a good time doing it, and I'm going to miss him, guys. Thank you.
I know Marv since '97, and I love Marv. I knew Marv real well, and Marv was a polished guy, and I'm a mutt. I ate a lot of Chinese food with Marv. I smoked a lot of cigars with Marv. All right? And he was like a father and a brother. And there wasn't a bad bone in that man's body. And he was tough. He was a tough guy. He taught me a lot about life, and I loved him. We had a special relationship, man. I hung out with that guy every Saturday night for years. I'd get done work, I'd go over to Marv's, we'd eat Chinese food, smoke cigars, watch TV. I mean, I spent some of the best times of my life with that man. He was an awesome dude, man. And he was like, I love you, man. He was the salt of the earth, man. He was the best, you know. And this is a bad day, man. It's terrible, man. I'm so sorry for you and everybody that knew that man and loved that man. You know, he saved my life. You know, he helped me out when I was at some really bad points in my life, man. And Marv was there. Marv was always there for me, you know, no matter what. You know, and I had some fights with Marv, arguments, man. I mean, I remember we were in Jersey one time, right? I don't know what we were doing, man, but we were there doing some crazy stuff, right? And he was mad at me, and I was mad at him, and I said, F you, Marv. And Marv goes to me, F me, F you. And I said, all right, Marv, you win. You're driving the car. I'm sorry, Marv, you win. You know, he told me a lot about life. He was, like I told you, he was like a father to me, he was like a brother to me, he was a mentor to me. He taught me so many life lessons. I mean, I spent one of the best days of my life with that man. He used to buy and sell stuff on the internet all the time. I mean, it was like insane. You know what the word barter means? I'm sure you do. But I used to like barter with him for knives on the craziest stuff. You know what I mean? I got so many knives because the guy because of Marv, right? You know, he knew how crazy I was. It's just like two crazies melted together. You know? Yeah, really. It was like we were meant for each other. You know? It was crazy. But you know, I mean, I would leave his house at like 2, 3 in the morning. He'd be sitting there, watching TV, smoking cigars. He'd went on the computer. I'd be down searching for porn. You know what I mean? Excuse my language. I mean, it was crazy. It was the best time of my life, man. I spent some really good, I told you what. I spent some really good times with that man, you know? I'd have done anything for Marv, and Marv would have done anything for me. He was the best. I can't say enough good things about that man. He was the best. You know, if I could have picked a father, I would have picked Marv. He was more of a father to me. I don't mean no disrespect here, but he was more of a father to me than my own father. I talked to that man about more things than anybody else. I mean, I could have conversations with that man that I could not have with another human being. You just wouldn't get it. You know what I mean? I mean, nothing against anybody else. But he was, I mean, he's always going to, I mean, I love that man. I love that man. I love him. You know, and for me, it's a real sad day. You know, and I like I said, I'm a mutt. I'm not a polished guy, you know? And like about 9 years ago, we kind of like drifted apart, man, you know? Because it's just the way things went, you know? And, it's sad, man. It's really sad, you know. But he was the best. The guy was the best. I don't want to upset anybody, but there wasn't a bad bone in that man's body. I can't say one bad thing about that man. It was the greatest to me. He was the best. I love that man. You know? He was the greatest. And one time, man, He straightened Collins out in Florida, boy. That was great. You know, and another time he straightened his old dude out at the gas station, man. That was great. I was like, yeah, Marv, get him. You know, but I swear to God, man, I love that man. He was the greatest. He was like a father, a brother. I mean, he was probably he was the best person I ever knew. He was the best person I ever knew. You understand? Sorry. I know, I gotta be honest with you. He was the best. He was a tough guy. He was the best person ever. We'd go to Chinese food, right? He'd stir his tea up, right? Because his father used to do this to him. He'd stir his tea up with the spoon. He'd get the spoon real hot, and he'd burn my arm. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? He said his father used to do that to him. His father used to do that. So anyways, you know, Paulette, I feel so sorry for you. I'm sorry, I am a mutt. I'm so sorry for you. You know, God bless you. I love this man. I love him. You know what I'm saying? It's so sad. I mean, I'm so sorry. I don't have the words. And I wish you all the best in your life. And I love Marv. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. He was the best. And I'm so sorry for you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very fortunate there. We knew Marv through Danny, all right? And Danny would bring Marv around, and immediately Marv became a part of the family. I mean, it's like he was with us forever, you know what I mean? So holidays, Easter stuff he was, and then Paulette would come around. Marv was so easy to talk to. And something I always remember is when you spoke to Marv, it's like you were the only person on the earth. You know what I mean? He just gave you this undivided attention. He made you feel special. And the last thing I'll say is I will always remember Marv with this. I think the last time we saw him was in town. I went to shake his hand. He's like, nah, Jack, give me a hug. And that was Marv.
Like a lot of you, I've only known Marv for the past 5 years. But I do know that he was a heck of a guy. He treated my mom really well. And not just that, he was caring to my wife Linda, my daughter Ruby, and my sister's family as well. He and I got along because we were both collectors of sorts. I'm a little bit of a picker. I like to find things, and I have a few different things I collect, and he and I got along with that. I learned about Tootsie Toys, which I never really.
He was the king of Tootsie Toys.
Right. But then, he would listen to me talk about either comic books or arcade games, which I collect, and he was always interested, like was said earlier, when you spoke with him, he gave you his undivided attention. And you could feel the warmth from him when you were connecting with him. Not just that, he was interested in what my daughter was doing. He would she liked to draw, and he'd look at her drawings and seriously look at them, not just give her a pat on the head and send her on her way. Luckily Linda's a good cook, so he didn't mind coming over. There's that as well. I don't really have much more to say, but I really like the guy a lot, and I'm rather picky. So.
Thank you.
They're 8 and 10, so it's a little late for them to drive back tonight. But I would just reiterate, my brother has a daughter, I have 2 little boys. My father died over 11 years ago, so they never knew him. And Marvin really, really connected with my boys. It was very much a surrogate grandfather to them. And I would like to say that their first birthday party, we did get a culturally, probably inappropriate American Indian marionette that he got off the internet. And so that was our first introduction to Marvin with the kids. It's like, what is this? And the kids were like, it's not ours. And he was really great with my boys. He liked to talk sports. I think he likes that my husband is originally from Queens. While I am not a collector, my husband was a trader, so I think Marvin would talk to him about things that he could buy and sell all the time. So that resonates a lot. And I know my 8-year-old son is like, what's going to happen to all of Marvin's coffee? Because he did love, right, my kids remember him, even on vacation, he brought his insulated mug to drink coffee everywhere he went. And I would say most importantly is I think my mother and he connected very quickly and very deeply, and he was just wonderful towards her. And I'm really sad that he's gone, but I'm happy that she had her time with him and my children got to know him, and me as well, obviously. But just wanted to say that.
And this ceremony, like we end a meeting and just all get in a circle. What we do is just have a moment of silence and we say a quick prayer. Just end this ceremony, like we end a meeting and just all get in a circle. What we do is just have a moment of silence and we say a quick prayer.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will shield and portion be as long as life endures. Yea, when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
All right, let's have a moment of silence and we'll say the surrendering prayer. God,
grant us serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference